Hello, good afternoon there, or good morning, depending where you located at. Welcome to the quarterly product updates. Um, we're gonna be talking about the latest features we've had in this Q3 of 2024. We're gonna give a few more minutes until we let everyone join. My name is Jorge Masa. I'll be the presenter today. And yeah, we'll give just a few minutes and we'll be right into it. Thank you. Meanwhile, we wait for everyone to join. Just wanted to remind you that we've got another upcoming webinar on financial KPIs next week. Make sure you watch it out if you're interested in it. And yeah, just a kind reminder to share your questions in the Q&A box. Send them, and I'll be very happy to answer them at the end of the presentation. So let's give 30 more seconds. So you can see we've got a new branding of our product, a new logo. You can share in the comment section if you like it, the new colors. I think it's the first webinar that we're showing it with the new color schema and the new logo. So yeah, share with us if you like it or not. Okay, so I think we're ready to start. So welcome to the quarterly product updates. It's been an amazing quarter that we've released quite a lot of new features, and I'm really excited to go through them with you. So first of all, a brief introduction. I'm Jorge Masa, product owner here at RatedPower for now more than a year. I'm passionate regarding engineering and renewable energy, and I work in the platform team. So we've got a total of 10 new features, big features, let's call it that way. I want to present to you today. There are some big ones, and we'll go through some demonstrations so that you can have a much more clear insight into what potential you can have with those features in the tool. And yeah, if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them at the end. So let's start with our releases in July. The first one is being able to import site elements in CAD format. So this is a feature that you had requested for a very long time. So right now you can import your CAD files in DWG format into our software, and I'll show a demonstration on how to do it now. But this has enabled quite a smooth integration between the most used drawing tool, which is CAD, and our software. Okay, important to say here that the only format that we allow for the moment is DWG. So let's go quickly and perform here an example in RatedPower. So here we've got a new project that we've created, and we need to generate a site. Okay, here you can see the different formats that we allow. So when we create a new site, you can see here the DWG. We enter, okay, and where we import all these elements is here in the import site info. You can see here that we've got DWG, we've got KML, KMZ, shapefile, amongst others. Okay, so here we go to DWG, we look, and we've got this one prepared. It's got site with CRS. Okay, the support is DWG format, and the maximum size that we allow is 20 megabytes. Okay, I'll run through. I'm going to explain also some best practices that you can do. This is an initial version of the feature. There are more improvements to come, but yeah, clearly there are some CAD files that are quite big. So generally, performing some cleaning is always a good method, so that you can import it into our software. So the import site process is divided into several steps. The first one is identifying where to locate your site. Here we automatically identify the CRS or the EPSG code that your CAD file brings. Okay, if it doesn't bring one, we give you here all the different EPSG codes and the different locations. If you don't know how to locate and get your CRS, we've got your knowledge base. We will be sending you all the reference to knowledge base that I'm gonna explain or reference in the webinar. They'll send it all to you at the end of the session. Okay. So in this case, we've identified it, but if not, we could choose another EPSG code that suits us, that corresponds to the correct one. Okay, so once we know where to locate your site, we get into importing layers and elements. As you may know, when designing in CAD, it's all divided in layers, and within those layers, you construct those elements. So that's what we're gonna bring. Okay, recommendation that I explain here is that it's better to just bring the layers and elements that you need for your site. Okay, so sometimes trying to import many complex sites with elements that ISC, our interactive site creation, does not read, it's just gonna make it a bit more complex, the import process. Okay, so here we've done clearly some cleaning. We have these 4 layers, which include a buildable area. As you can see, the map interacts as we state which layers we want to import. Okay, we've got the interconnection facility area and some restricted areas, in this case, wetlands and slope. So once I've selected all the layers that I want to import, I do want to import the 4 layers, import them, and now we've got here all the elements. Okay, and what we need to do is assign our site definition to each element. So for my buildable area, we're going to have the available area. For my interconnection facility, we're going to have, in this case, a substation. And for all of the wetlands and slopes, we're going to have restricted areas. Okay. Here, as you can see, we're going to have very soon being able to multi-batch and establish a specific site definition. This is a bit of a manual process, but yeah, it doesn't take that long. I just wanted also to let you know that there are some restrictions and limitations to guarantee a very good performance. So we talked about the 20 megabytes restriction in size. There are also a limit of 500 elements per layer. So if your layer has more than 500 elements, we're talking here about the previous step, it won't be, so you will be able to see the layer, but you won't be able to import it. Part of the reason we've also defined this is because there are several restrictions we have in our interactive site creation. You only can have a maximum of 30 available areas or 200 restricted areas. So it's also to make your experience quite smooth while using the feature. So once we've selected all the restricted areas, as you can see, it interacts with the map as well. We can import all these 32 elements, and we jump in, and then we have our area. Now we just need to finish with the requirements. We need to include an MV point for the substation, and we include an access point to the available area. And there we go. Our site defined. We can save it as a new site, and that would be the full process. Okay. So, if you have any questions, just pop them in, and we'll look at it later. So that's the import site elements in CAD format. Let's go with the advanced OHO parameters. So we've made some improvements to customize your overhead lines in your PV plant. Okay, we've incorporated some new inputs. Let's go through them. The first one is the right-of-way buffer width. Basically, you can define restricted areas by defining a buffer in your overhead line. So for example, in this case, you can see that we've incorporated a buffer of 100 meters, and it's respected. So you can create restricted areas with this buffer. We've also included the pollution level. Okay, you can choose between light, medium, heavy, and very heavy. This is based on the IEC standards. Okay, and it will recommend a minimum nominal creepage distance for basic insulation purposes. Okay, so this is all based on the standards. And finally, we've got the target span, which basically measures the distance between towers, and it's used to calculate the maximum span, which can go up to 15%. Okay, it considers restricted areas, it considers terrain slopes, so you may have values which are a bit different from the ones that you've established, but it will always try to converge into that value. Moving on to August, okay, we have another very big feature. I would say one of the most important that you've been requesting is being able to have more flexibility defining restricted areas and installation strategies. Okay, so with this feature, we've achieved having much more flexibility and personalization with your restricted areas and with your plant layout. Okay. Now you're going to be able to launch different strategies for fence and road interactions with these restricted areas. Okay, you're going to be able to define the different types with colors and names, and for each type establish the different strategies. Okay, nothing better to have an actual look on how this looks in our software. Okay, important to say that we don't have the feature yet integrated with our interactive site creation. We wanted you to utilize and start using this feature as soon as possible. So that's why we made this release, being able to have it in the design process. But in Q4, you'll be able to have this also in the interactive site creation. The only drawback that exists right now is that you need to use another tool. In this case, I'm using Google Earth. If you want to make any modifications to your site, you need to go here and then import again into RatedPower. But this is something that we're working on, and in Q4 it will be out. So in this case, I'm using Google Earth. Here, as you can see, we basically have the different requirements that we need. And AA, excuse me 1 second, the light went off. There we go. Sorry about that. So we have the main requirements for the site. As you can see, the polygon, the AC points, ACBs, secondary action point, overhead lines, substations, etc. And here we basically divided in folders, okay, all the restricted areas, okay. It's really important that you pay attention to the nomenclature, okay. It needs to be specifically this way, okay. So exactly the same like for the AA polygon 1, RA_1, RA_2. If not, it won't be able to read it, okay. Soon with the being integrated with ISC, it's going to be much easier. But now we need to follow these guidelines, okay. This is pretty well explained in the knowledge base articles, where we explain how to prepare your restricted areas, okay. So in this case, we've got a few. We've got military training routines, we've got slopes, wetlands, pipelines, and a few more, oil and gas wells, etc. Okay, just so you know, you don't need to have the same name within the folder. As long as you've got the polygon within the folder name RA_3, everything will be imported, okay. So once we have this, we go into RatedPower, and we go to our site, and in this case, we upload the KML KMZ directly. Okay, we don't go through the interactive site. We upload it directly. Okay. As I've said, this is also everything explained also in the knowledge base. If you want to have a close look and have a read. Okay. So once we have our site import, you see it more or less this way. I've done a bit of ground work before the webinar, and if we go here in the layout tab with the RA setbacks, Here, what I've been doing, establishing restricted area names and restricted area colors to each and one of them, as you can see. So all these folders were imported, and I established the name and the color that I wanted. So for slope, wetlands, pipelines, etc. Okay, and here we can see all the new inputs, the fence strategy, the new setbacks that we have, and the road strategy that we can have. So this part is new. Let's see how we can play with this different with these different restricted areas to play with our PV plant layout. So if we click overview, we'll have a much more clear view of our PV plant and our restricted areas, and see how it interacts with the fence. It goes all over the modules. So yeah, I've got here a few examples. So for the prevent the fence from causing RA, here we've got the pipelines, and as you can see, by establishing this strategy, it goes all around the fence. Okay, it doesn't go through this restricted area, it goes around. Okay, and as you can see, we've established a setback, a restricted area to fence setback of 5 meters. Just a quick, sometimes if you want to measure, I don't know if you know that we've got the ruler tool there, but we can see that it's more or less the 5 meters. So as you can see here, that strategy of preventing the fence from crossing the restricted area with that setback of 5 meters, that setback of restricted area to fence. Then we've got, for example, for the basin, we've got the keep the restricted area inside the PV plant, okay? And the basin is represented with this blue. And as you can see, we've made it possible. The fence goes through outside and goes around the restricted area to keep it inside the PV plant, okay? So you can see the second strategy there. And the third strategy, I prepared it here for the bedrock depth, is being able to cross the array. And this is the bedrock depth. As you can see, the fence goes through, and here it goes through. Okay, so you can play with these strategies and establish it in the best way that you want to design and personalize your plant. And then finally, we've got this road strategies, which is you can minimize crossing the restricted area, so it will look for shortcuts, or you can directly cross the restricted area. So here, for this one, it can directly cross, and for this design that I generated before, it minimized crossing the restricted area, and the layout changed a bit, as you can see here, how everything it goes, it rounds, in this case, this restricted area. So this is new with characterization of restricted area. We'll be sending also detailed webinar that we did and a rated coffee recording that we have. We'll send it to you later. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Perfect. So let's continue with the releases that we had in August. We had this one of establishing the DC-AC ratio at the point of interconnection. Okay, so up until now, you could only define the DC-AC ratio at the inverters, but now you're going to have the flexibility to define it at the point of interconnection. This is applied both for the maximum and the specific capacity, as you can see here, and we've got the new 2 KPIs, which is the DC-AC ratio at the point of interconnection and the active power. Okay. So this will give you a bit of more flexibility to the strategy you want to apply when sizing your plant. Moving on with variable energy prices. So last quarter we had our financial KPIs release, and now we only had the fixed prices. We promised that for the next quarter we were going to have these variable energy prices, and there you have it. You can upload this hourly variable energy prices for a better definition of the financial analysis, and you can define it, the price models, as a typical day for the whole year, or per hour for a whole year, or for the whole life of the life cycle of the plant. So yeah, pretty cool being able to have this. Let's go with September. September's been the busiest month with a few releases. So yeah, and the the first that may have caused your sight is the new RatedPower with our new redesign of the software. And yeah, just please let me know if you like it in the question section because yeah, we're really excited about it. Just a few things that we want to mention is that now product and brand name are just one. So now it's not PV Design, the product anymore. So now it's RatedPower company and software all in one. So yeah, and this is aligned with our commitment to provide the best user experience and improve readability. This sleek modern interface, and it's also aligned with the branding to reflect our vision as being part of Enverus. Moving on with the satellite image in DXF files. Okay, this one was also quite requested by you guys. So right now in the general layout and topography analysis documents, you can have the satellite image. Okay, this is applied to DXF files, and it's gonna be really good to improve our contextual understanding of the PV plant area having that satellite image. So yeah, important to say that it will be visible exclusively in AutoCAD for Windows. Okay, these DXF files. Cool stuff. So next, the detailed engineering box in the general layout. So here we wanted to give you a bit more scope, a bit more detail into the inputs and outputs that we have from a simulation. Okay, so here you'll have in the detailed in the general layout documentation, you'll be able to have here all the inputs and outputs with the values that's been used. Well, not all of them, but many of them. So this is something that is also really cool to make your life a bit easier. So it's already available, downloaded in your latest versions of your general layout documentation. Moving on with SolarG's 15-minute API integration. Now we have incorporated this 15-minute API with SolarG's. You can access and configure it in My Company in integrations. So check that out if you haven't done it. And yeah, you're gonna be able to access higher resolution solar data, being able to have more precise and higher energy higher energy efficiency with that 15-minute integration. So yeah, check that out. And finally, let's with our last one. Yeah, it's quite a few ones we need to show here. Is the renewable power generation costs in 2023. So WIFGAF IRENAS have released the 2023 global renewable power generation cost study. And this is what we use for the CAPEX template. So now with the 2023 costs being released, we can have a higher precision financial analysis, and they're available for all of these countries. Try finding yours there. But yeah, really excited about this as like every year, and yeah, really happy to have them already in our software for you to use. And this was our last feature for today. Just wanted here to talk about the Trends Report Survey 2025. For those of you who don't know, this is a trends report that we get out every year with data, information, a lot of cool stuff that we gather from our clients. And we would be really happy if you can participate to help us with the building of this document with your expertise, with your experience. So if you participate, you have the chance to win one of 4 €50 Amazon gift cards or a donation to your preferred NGO. Okay, so here you've got the QR code, and yeah, and we'll be really glad if you're able to help us here with the trend report. And yeah, I'll leave it maybe a few more seconds just in case you've got your phone there and you want to scan the QR code. If not, just ask us and we'll send you all the details regarding it for you to participate. And with this said, we're gonna be jumping into a Q&A. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you very much for attending. So here we have a question. It says, how many new features have we shown today? A total of 10 new features. And that's not only what we're working on. We also, have a lot of work of resolving some issues, some minor improvements, fixing some bugs as well. But here we just focus on showing the most important features that can impact your day-to-day work with RatedPower. Thank you for the question. Any more questions regarding the features that we've seen today, or generic questions regarding RatedPower? So just, yeah, if you don't have any questions right now, it's perfectly fine. Have a look at the knowledge base articles that I've referenced that we'll send you after this session. And if you have any further questions, please, you've got my email there. You've got my email there, so just have them, pop them up, and we'll be really happy. I'll be really happy to answer them. Give me a second. The slides are driving me crazy. Okay, we've got here another question. So, what is the roadmap for BESS coming next? So for the battery energy storage systems, our idea is in Q4 to be able to have the dispatch strategies for AC and DC batteries. And also we're developing the standalone BESS in which you'll be able to design only standalone batteries without requiring a PV plant. And that's, yeah, we're really excited about the progress there with all the batteries. So yeah, stay tuned because we're gonna have big things coming in Q4. Thank you for the question. Any more questions? Okay, I think we can leave it here. Thank you very much for attending. Just, yeah, email me if you have any doubts with what's been presented today, or if you have any general questions. And thank you very much for attending. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, I hope I'll see you again soon. So take care. Thank you.